All that stands between you and the goals you've wanted to achieve is this 8-minute video. Can you really afford not to watch it? My name is Peter Sage, and over the last 30 years, I've been helping people achieve goals that have been so inspiring, so big, that they've looked back at their old life with a telescope. And I'd like to teach you the same today by sharing with you the 3 key things that I've learned in 30 years of understanding human behavior when it comes to goal setting. The first key is really to understand the purpose of setting a goal, and very few people take the time to do this, which is why they run off in a direction, essentially charging east looking for a sunset. When you do that, when you set goals for the wrong reasons, or you don't have a strong enough reason for why you want the goal, or the reason you think you want the goal isn't powerful enough but driven by ego, then you're off charging east and you're blaming everything on why you don't see a sunset, including the shoes you're wearing, the personal trainer you've got, the meal plan you have, and you think just by running harder and faster you'll get where you want to go. So when it comes to setting goals, what's the purpose of the goal? The vast majority of people right now are setting goals to get something. I want more money. I want a better career. I want a bigger house. Now, there's nothing wrong with that per se, but the challenge is what you're doing is you are associating your happiness, you're associating your sense of fulfillment, you're associating who you are with what you're trying to get. And instead, I want to give you a different way of looking at how to set goals and why to set goals. See, for me, I have 2 organizing principles. The first is this: the real reason for setting a goal is not to achieve the goal. It's to see who do you need to become in order to achieve the goal. See, most people set goals that they think they know how to achieve. They think that, oh, I just need a strategy. I just need to work harder. I just need to do X and then I will get the goal. So they set it with a certain limit. But that limit is about getting the goal, not causing them to become a bigger version of themselves, which is why you see people get the Ferrari and they're still depressed. Yeah, they may have moments or a couple of weeks of, oh, wow, I did it. But then that fulfillment or lack of it comes back, starts to haunt them. We call it the curse of the white rabbit, because if you see a dog on a rabbit track, the purpose of the track is to make sure the dog never catches the rabbit. The dog doesn't know that. It chases after the rabbit. But entrepreneurs or people setting goals are chasing rabbits that by design they can never catch. And that is the rabbit of fulfillment while running on the track of achievement. And yes, I bought my first Ferrari when I was 25 years old. And I was so excited about picking it up, and that excitement lasted about a week. And then there was that emptiness again. I'm like, why? It's because I was setting the goal to try to prove to the world I was good enough. And no amount of external goal is going to cover up an internal insecurity. But when I started setting goals, not to achieve the goal, but to see who I needed to become. You see, I ran the Marathon des Sables, which is the world's toughest foot race. And this is 20 years ago. And this is a marathon every single day, back to back, across the Sahara Desert for 7 days. Over 250 kilometers in intense heat, freezing temperatures, rationed water at 9 liters a day, carrying 20 kilos on your back in the hardest environment on earth. Now, when I signed up for that, I had no clue how I was going to accomplish that goal, but I knew that the person that would accomplish it was a different person to the one that set the goal. And that inspired me. Essentially just needed me to become somebody that defied my own limits, but not on a grandiose way, but on a way that says, I just need to put one foot in front of the other and believe that I can. And at that point, I will be the person that gets out of bed early for training, that says no to the cheeseburger. Now, we're constantly growing, we're constantly stretching. My next goal, 20 years later at that level, is the Talisker Whiskey Transatlantic Challenge. I'm signed up to do it. I'm so excited. Now, it makes the desert run look easy. Why? Because this is me and one other person, my best friend, in a small little rowing boat, rowing for 2 hours, one person, while one person sleeps, and then we swap 24 hours a day for 2.5 months across the Atlantic, from La Gomera in the Canary Islands to Antigua in the Bahamas. And that is going to be amazing. Do I have any idea how I can accomplish that? No. And that's my second point on setting goals. If you know how you can achieve the goals you set, when you set them, they're too small. Why? Because there's no room for you to get excited, to be able to be stretched past your comfort zone. which is really a familiarity zone. There's no room for magic to show up, for you to be inspired. If you know how to achieve a goal, you say, what's the point? That's like just doing something and following a plan to get something at the end. Where's the magic? Where's the inspiration? Where's the joy? Where's the fulfillment? And where's the growth in who you need to become? So the first key principle in being able to achieve goals that you don't normally know how to achieve is to set goals you don't know how to achieve by realizing that the purpose is to become somebody who you're not right now. That way, if you get 20 miles off the coast, and I'm not saying row the Atlantic Ocean, leave that for crazies like me. If you're going to get 20 miles off the coast or 100 meters off the top of Everest, if that was your goal, who I became just to get to that part is far greater than the piece of tin they give you at the end to wear around your neck. Remember, organizing principles on setting goals. 1, it's not about achieving the goal, it's who do you need to become in order to achieve the goal. 2nd, if you're setting goals you know how to achieve, they're too small, they're boring. You're never going to have that spark that gets you up early and keeps you up late, that keeps you in the game when it gets tough, because it's designed to get tough. As I said, life is a growth-centric experience. The second key that I've learned on being able to accomplish goals, and this is where people fight procrastination or self-sabotage, is to understand that if you're making the goal about the entire goal, then it's so fearful for many people that they don't start. So make it about what's the next step. When I ran the desert, I couldn't focus on the finish line. It was hundreds of kilometers away, but I could focus on the next checkpoint. And that became my obsession. Just get to the next checkpoint. And then I strung all of the checkpoints together, and a week later I'd finished the marathon. And it's the same when you're setting a goal. If you're focusing on the top of the mountain from when you're at the bottom of the mountain, you're never going to want to start. And the best way to finish something, as I said, is to start it. So break down your big goals into simply what is the next movement I need to make en route. And you see this when people want a body they want, but they haven't got time to go to the gym and get everything together. And why? Because they're focusing on all of the stuff they need to do. Oh, I've got to go find a gym, and then I've got to organize membership, and then I've got to buy a gym kit, and then I've got to get everything prepared. And you see all of the steps in their mind, they're stringing together, so it becomes so overwhelming they do nothing. People that are successful say, oh, what's the next step I'd have to take? Research the best gym in my area. Boom, that's it. Don't go any further. So you've broken it down into a small chunk, bang, get that chunk done. Right, what's the next best move that I can make towards my goal? That's making it smaller, that's making it easier, setting you up to win. The third key in being able to become a goal-achieving machine is to understand the fundamental truth that consistency beats intensity. You see people get all inspired in the moment, and they'll work for a whole day on one project, and then they won't touch it again. Far better to work an hour a day or half an hour a day for the next 2 to 3 weeks than try to get everything done now. A lot of times people try to get things done now because they feel guilty about how much time they've put off, but that's setting you up to fail. That's the rinse and repeat cycle so many fall into. Instead, what I'm going to encourage you to do is to realize consistency beats intensity. If you are struggling to spend 20 minutes focusing, spend 5 minutes focusing, and then go get a glass of water, take the dog somewhere, come back another 5 minutes. And soon 5 minutes is going to be easy. You're going to want to do more. Stretch it to 10, stretch it to 20, go for 30 minutes. Soon you're going to be doing 45 minutes, going for a break, coming back, focusing for 45 minutes. And that way you're going to start stringing consistency together and building that habit so that you can become the person that can achieve all of your goals, not by focusing on how big and scary they are and running in the other direction and making excuses and procrastinating. Not by trying to set goals that don't inspire you so you don't really have that inner fire in the belly to go forward and go become who you want to become. But more so, so you can become that consistent, predictable, goal-achieving machine. Now, if you'd like to become the kind of person who sets inspiring goals, that has the consistency to follow through, that knows how to plan it in a way that things will get done and finished, then click the link below, because you may be interested in becoming an elite mentorship trainer. These people are a breed apart. They've gone through a certain level of training that sets them up to be goal-achieving machines while not chasing the rabbit on the wrong track, but having joy and fulfillment in the process. If that sounds like something you're interested in, click the link below, and I may just see you on the other side.